Hello, I am Marie Contreras. For the last 20 years, I have been a vintage and antique collectibles reseller on eBay. For the last 5 years, I have run my own pet care business. I write a weekly blog about pet care, and I recently wrote my first book about caring for dogs. I make videos on this channel about growing a small business, saving money, and living life on your own terms. If this sounds like something you would enjoy, stick around. I hope you enjoy what I created for you.
Hello. In today's video, I want to share some eBay tips. I am a reseller on eBay. I've been a reseller on eBay since October of 2000, 21 years now. I have learned to kind of roll with the things that eBay adds in order to do business with them. Today's video is sponsored by Good Dogs, a foolproof guide for having happy and healthy dogs. Yes, I wrote this book. I don't have any real sponsors yet, but this is a great book. If you have dogs or you know somebody who has a dog, you can find it on Kindle, in paperback on Amazon, and now it's also available on Audible. So you can listen to it while you're driving around. Anyway, back to today's program. The current frustration that is sticking in my craw right now is the item specifics. When I list an item to begin with, I enter information in every applicable field possible. So you would think I wouldn't have any item specifics to add, but I do. 880 of my items that are listed have item specifics that are going to be required soon. And if you're an eBay seller, you know that that means you need to go and update those things, or you're going to have problems with your listings potentially. I got through the holidays. I didn't want to fool with it during the holidays, but this is one of the first things that I'm going to be catching up on little by little as I go, hopefully before all of them are needed, so that my item specifics are up to date. It makes eBay happy. I've learned over the last 20 years, just do what they ask as quickly as you can, and you won't suffer for it. eBay has been a good program. There are other things that I've tried that I haven't kept with this long. There really isn't anything comparable to eBay that sells as many items for me. So I stick with eBay. I've tried Etsy, I've tried Poshmark, I haven't tried Mercari. I do a fair bit of Facebook Marketplace, but really my bread and butter is eBay. And so I try to keep them happy. As a best practice for a top-rated seller, which is what I am, one of the first things that I'm going to be tackling is those item specifics. The easiest way to tackle the item specifics is to go in the bulk editor on your seller hub, and you can batch them. You can do them very quickly if you go to the bulk editor, because a lot of the things that they want, they're going to already pre-fill for you. So you're not going to have to manually type in a lot of the stuff, but you will need to check it, because a lot of the pre-fills that they will do, or that their artificial intelligence will assume that should be on your listing, are not correct. So you do need to look at it and you do need to review it, but the process is pretty quick. I can get, usually in 5 to 10 minutes, I can update about 50 items. So it's not unmanageable, but it will take some time. The second item that I'm going to tackle now that the holiday season is behind me is wrangling my shipping area. I don't know about you, but when I get busy in the holiday season, my shipping area gets a little out of control. And you've seen other videos before, the clean with me's in that shipping area, that it can get very out of control. I need to take inventory and get my shipping area back into an organized state. I need to check and see if I'm low on any supplies. I'll go ahead and order those now. Starting in January, the coupon is going to be available for the eBay sellers that have a store that's basic or above. They give you a coupon to go towards shipping supplies. I order things like packing tape. I order poly bags. I order boxes in every size, because you never know what you're going to ship. I sell a lot of vintage photos, and so I get a lot of those flat mailers. And I stock up on all of that with my $50 coupon each quarter. And I have another video that I will link right here that will link you to how to get the coupon if you don't know how to get it. They're not going to bug you about using the coupon. You have to know that it exists, and you have to go search for it and use it. I didn't realize that for many years, actually. I learned about that on YouTube. I would get the emails and notice them once in a while, but I probably only used that coupon before I didn't realize it was a quarterly thing. I would get an email once a year, and I would go get some supplies. And then I found out on another YouTube channel that it was a quarterly coupon. So then I learned how to go find it. And so I share that in that other video that I made. I haven't had to buy any shipping supplies in probably 6 months. The eBay store has a good enough variety that most of what I need I can order from them. And then when I get large boxes from Amazon and they match something that I've got listed, I'll go ahead and keep those. So I recycle a lot of Amazon boxes, but the eBay store definitely fills in the blanks. So when I go ahead and clean up my shipping area, I'll also take inventory of my shipping supplies and see if there's anything that I need. The next thing that I'm going to do to get my store ship shape and ready for a new season is I'm going to verify my inventory. By taking inventory at least once a year, you prevent things from being lost and not learning about it until you've sold the item and you can't find it, or finding out that maybe something got damaged or jostled and was broken. You don't want to keep those listings up. You want to have listings that you can sell and ship and not have problems with. The problem with things that are broken or things that are lost is it will ding you on eBay and it can affect your top rated seller status. So you definitely want to avoid that if at all possible. So that's definitely a best practice. You need to verify that all of your inventory is where you can find it, labeled correctly, stored safely. That way when you sell something, it's very easy and quick to ship it. Now, the fourth thing that I do this time of year is I run a promotion. January and February are still typically good months for me, sometimes into March, but the slowdown for me usually hits in the late spring. The shopping trends continue into the early part of the year, so I like to try and take advantage of that. If you look at a lot of the big box retailers, they are all running the after Christmas sales, and they run them through January. And so I try to mimic a lot of what the big retailers do to keep my inventory from becoming stale. The quicker that I can sell things, the better my cash flow, but also the better the quality of my inventory. Trends change, and so I don't really want to get stuck with things that were hot 3 years ago because I didn't sell them or because I listed them for too high of a price. So this is the time of year that I will run a promotion on eBay and try and whittle down my inventory somewhat. The fifth thing that I do is I gather all my tax records and I go over my documents for tax time. This time of year, you need to grab everything together, make sure you have receipts for all your inventory, receipts for any equipment that you may have purchased. If you bought a new scale or if you bought a new thermal printer, make sure you have receipts for all of those things because those are all tax deductions for your small business. If you bought a new computer that you use for the business or a new camera, those are all things that you want to make sure that you have the receipts for so that you can take the deductions at tax time. And then the sixth thing that I do is I think about how I want to change going forward, if at all. I will look at what sold, I will look at what didn't, I will try to track the trends and see if I'm getting a lot of things that are maybe out of style. Having been in the business with eBay for over 20 years, I've seen a lot of fads and trends come and go. And even in the antique world, I sell a lot of antiques and collectibles, things that people collect different things as time goes on. You have different generations coming into it. When I first started, dishes and glassware was hot. People were loving the pink depression ware and the green jadeite, and that stuff just doesn't sell like it used to. The collectible china, everybody was doing the shabby chic stuff for a while, and so a lot of that stuff sold. And then they went into farmhouse, and now things are more mid-century modern. When I first started, mid-century modern was everywhere, and nobody was buying it. Everybody wanted Victorian things when I first started, and they wanted antique collectibles, and the tastes of the buying population changes, so you need to be in tune to that. Pick up some magazines that show the hot trends for your niche and kind of keep aware of that. Also check in eBay, look at the sold items, see what the hottest sellers are, and you can also kind of see where your stuff ranks. You want to do the research before you buy the inventory, preferably. If you have a lot of this inventory, again, go back to running the promotion and getting that stuff out of there. Another thing to think about as far as your business strategy goes is, do you have a DBA in place? Do you need to form an LLC? Do you have a separate bank account for the eBay store? You want to keep track of that, and you want to treat this like a business. You don't want to treat it like you're selling a few things on a garage sale, because if you treat it like a business, you can take more tax deductions. And so you definitely want to have everything buttoned up business-wise. So if you haven't done that yet, now is the time to start thinking about that. You want to make sure that you're running your business the right way. And that just avoids problems down the line. It's not expensive to do a DBA. You don't have to go to a third-party site to do it. You can do it directly on the website in your county. It's actually very easy. I think in Los Angeles, to establish a DBA and to register it with the County of Los Angeles, it's like $29, and then there's another little fee. but it's under $50, and they've got the forms online. You can either take them into the office and not have to get them notarized, or you can mail them in, but you'll have to get them notarized. It's actually really easy. A lot of these third-party sites will charge you $100 or $200 to do a DBA, and it's completely unnecessary because the forms are very easy to file on your own. If you have done a DBA and it's been 5 years, it's time to renew it in many states. So check your state, see what the renewal rates are if you already have your DBA. Same thing for your LLC. Make sure you're filing the proper documents that you need to file each year. And now's a good time to just kind of do that year-end review and make sure that you've got everything on track to run your business well. Okay, the next one is an obvious one, but around the holidays when we get so busy shipping, we sometimes pile things up, also known as the death pile. If you have death piles in the corners of your office or your space, wherever you keep your inventory, now is the time to list them. Now that you've got a little break from the frenzy of the Christmas shopping season, it's time to list those items that you shopped for maybe last summer or last fall, or we won't say when you shopped for them, but it's time to list them. Because if you can't list it, you can't sell it. Now, there is something to be said for having a stockpile of items to list, but again, you risk having the items that you bought go out of fashion or go off trend. So if those items are selling well now, list them, because next month it may start dying down. It's just the nature of sales. Things come in and out of fashion and favor. People collect different things. Different generations collect different things. So you want to have your items listed and sold and out the door. The best problem you can have is you've run out of things to list and you have to go get more. The next item that I would strongly recommend you do is reviewing the eBay seller update. They love to send an update around Christmas time when everybody's too busy to read it, myself included. I will be listening to their podcast to update, and I'll also review it online. It's on the eBay website. They've probably sent you several emails telling you about it. You just need to go read it. You need to be aware of what they change. Sometimes the changes are dramatic and sometimes they're minor, but you don't want them to sneak up on you or catch you unaware. One thing that I do recommend is listening to the eBay Seller podcast. I will have a link below in the description that will help you find it. It's got a wealth of information and best practices on a weekly basis. They answer questions, and they go over kind of the ups and downs and things that people are getting right and things that people are getting wrong. And it's a very informative, relatively short podcast. They produce it once a week. It publishes on Tuesdays, and it's less than an hour usually. The final thing that I would recommend doing this time of year is to send offers to your buyers. You've got everything listed. You've got your inventory's in the right spot. You're running a promotion, and there's 11 people that are watching your items, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet. Send offers. Sometimes as low as 5% will nudge them from a looker to a buyer. And I list those items because I want to sell them. Lowering it by just $1, it's not so much about the price, but they're getting an email about your item and they may have forgotten they were looking at it. And getting your email reminds them and shows them your item again. It gets your item out in front of their eyeballs. So even if you're offering a small discount, it still makes them look at your item again. So you definitely want to send offers. Every day that I send offers, I usually get at least one sale out of it. Some days it misses, but as a rule, when I send offers, I get sales. So that is a powerful tool that's free to use, and I would highly recommend using that. If you have any other things that you normally do this time of year that have helped your store, share them with me. Drop your information in the comments. I would love to see what you're doing this time of year to help your eBay store grow and sell. Have a great day.
If you enjoyed this video, nudge the like button. If you would like to see more like this, consider subscribing. If you would like to read the blog or check out my new book, I'm going to leave links to them in the description. Thank you for watching. Bye till next time.